Sports.
We are Sports. We are Sports.
Baseball continues to be a game of inches. Miss your pitch or put it in the wrong spot, and it could mean the ball game. First two games versus Texas have gone down to the wire. With the series on the line, what better time for Big Game James to live up to his moniker? The Rays go for another series win next on Sun Sports. This afternoon, the wrap-up game of the three-game series from Tropicana Field. The Rays on this homestand have gone 3 wins, 2 losses. And today, game number 3 of their series against the Texas Rangers. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to an evening or afternoon, as the case may be, of Rays baseball. With Brian Anderson, I'm Dwayne Statz. Great to have you aboard. Another extra inning game last night, dropped by the Rays 4-2. They played 2 extra inning games in this one. And again, pitching has been outstanding for the Rays. In fact, they have the best team ERA in the major league since the All-Star break. One of the reasons would be James Shields, who over the last 7 games has only 1 loss. That was 1-0 against Texas in Arlington.
Yeah, well, he's thrown the ball tremendous the last month and a half. James Shields, over the last 7 starts, he's averaging 7.5 innings a start. How about the record? 5-1, ERA 2.22. Now that covers 52 and 2/3 innings. He's only walked 8 hitters in that span. So he's been going right after these guys, that attacking style of pitching, and that's what's even more impressive than the numbers, because that is what will lead to long-term success for James Shields, is to continue to attack with that fastball to both sides, the change-up, let the cutter and curveball do their things as the game moves on. And the game that you referenced right there, he couldn't have been much better. He gave up 1 run. It was a solo shot to Josh Hamilton. But other than that, he was fantastic. He puts up a line like that or similar to that today. Bet he wins this one.
Well, the races are close. The Rays 2 back in the East. They're 2 back in the wild card race. The games are close. Extra innings breaking out everywhere. The calls are close. A game of inches. And when Todd Callis joins us after this break, he'll take a look at those tight races and those tight calls.
Rays and Rangers wrapping up this homestand. The Rays looking for a series win. Very critical spot in this season. Whenever you're down to 22 games after today like the Rays are, every game is huge. Rays looking for a win today, and then they head to Baltimore for 3 and the Yankees for 3. Then they're home for Boston and Toronto. As you can see, the Angels have tied the Rays in the wild card picture. Both teams 2 games behind the Orioles, and the Yankees 2.5 behind Oakland. The Orioles and the Yankees are tied once again after last night's controversial finish where the Orioles held on to a 5-4 win. Double play ground ball to end the game. Mark Teixeira dives in head first as he saved for out. Looks safe, called out by Jerry Meals. Teixeira actually injured himself, re-injured that calf on that dive, and he is now out of the lineup today. How close is this race? Well, it comes down to a pitch like this. Carlos Pena felt like he not only had that call go against him, but another one earlier in the sequence in that at bat. And we caught up with Carlos after the game, and he was not happy with Mike Estabrook's strike zone in that at bat.
I just stood with my bat on my shoulder, and the calls were right, then I would have walked, you know. But instead, I was 2-2, you know, battling to stay alive, and then the last pitch was off the plate. You know, with all due respect, I know that was a ball, and I saw the replay, and you know, I saw the evidence. It was a ball, so I did the right thing by taking it. Unfortunately, he thought it was a strike, and their call stands.
So here we go after an 11-inning contest and a 10-inning contest. The last 2 nights, the Rays ready for the Rangers in this Sunday afternoon game. 2 minutes and 45 seconds away from James Shields versus Roy Oswalt. Enjoy all the action with Wayne Stats and Brian Anderson right around the corner on Sun Sport.
Use his whole field.
Visit your local Toyota dealer for great deals today. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by Tires Plus. The plus is in everything we do. This afternoon's Rays game presented in high definition, brought to you by H.H. Gregg. Let's take a quick look at the starting lineup for the Texas Rangers. They'll have Ian Kinsler, the second baseman, leading off. Elvis Andrus and then Josh Hamilton. Adrian Beltre hits cleanup in front of Nelson Cruz with Michael Young, the designated hitter. David Murphy is in left. Giovanni Soto does the catching. He'll bat 8th, and Mitch Moreland hits It's ninth. He's at first base.
Now taking the mound this afternoon for the Tampa Bay Rays, right-hander James Shields seeking his 14th win. 5 of those wins have come in his last 7 starts with an ERA of 2.22. And those 52 and 2/3 innings, too. James Shields has done. We talk about his attacking style, getting back to going right after hitters, and he's being very efficient. Just 14.5 pitches an inning during the course of that 7-game stretch.
We're all set to play baseball. Shields 13 and 8, making his 29th start, and the first pitch of this game is a strike call. First pitch brought to you by Pinch a Penny. And the ground ball down to third. Keppinger up with it. A nice little pickup there at third by Keppinger. 1 away.
Well, let's take a look at the Rays defense as it lines up this afternoon. In the outfield, there it is. Wait for it. Left to right. Van Francisco, B.J. Upton, and Matt Joyce across the infield. Third to first. Jeff Keppinger, Ben Zobrist, Ryan Roberts, and Carlos Pena. Jose Molina will be behind the plate. This afternoon's Ray defense brought to you by Sweet Bay Supermarket. With meat so good, maybe it should be called Meat Bay.
It's Elvis Andrus. 1 out. Base is empty. First pitch is a strike to Andrus. Fastball. Andrus had a hit and a walk last night. Just under 300 at 297. Count is 1-1. The Texas Rangers are wrapping up a 10-game road trip. They took 2 out of 3 from Cleveland, 3 out of 4 from Kansas City. The Rays and the Rangers have divided the first 2 games of this series, both extra inning affairs. 10 innings last night, 11 the night before. Pena with the pickup, and the ball mishandled at first. Shields got over and could not corral that little toss from Pena. Andrus is aboard.
Now that was going to be a tough play. It was an in-between. James Shields will be the first one to tell you he's got to come up with this. Pena does his job. Nice leading flip right there, and that's led him right to the bag, and it just, you see James was actually looking down. That toss actually may have been a little too far almost. James was looking down to make sure that he touched the bag. Watch. As this ball is heading towards the bag, he leaves the ball to find the bag and just whiffs it.
So it's an error charged to the Rays pitcher. Shields charged the 97th error of the year the Rays have committed this season. And here is Josh Hamilton. Fouling one out of play. Strike 1.
You know, and that kind of illustrates the point where we were making yesterday about that play where Jeff Keppinger took the ground ball at first and flipped it to Archer when he had plenty of time to run it there himself. When you add an element, you add a flip to a pitcher covering the bag, that's the risk that you run.
Hamilton leading the majors in home runs and runs batted in. Well, that pitch is down and in. 1-1. Yeah, this Texas team tough enough to retire to get 3 outs, and now Shields is going to have to get 4 right here in the first.
Right, the extra opportunities always, you know, you can't give them to anybody, but let alone an offense as powerful as this one.
1-2.
And that should continue to be a big pitch for James against Josh Hamilton. Can't stick with it all the time. He's got to show him the fastball here and there just to get him off that changeup. But ultimately, that's the pitch you want to get him out with.
The changeup struck him out. 2 gone.
Well, such a good pitch for James. He can throw it out over the heart of the plate. He keeps it down. It's got great finish on it. Josh Hamilton, we've talked well, in depth about the fact that he will expand the zone in a big way. James Shields takes advantage of it.
Beltre hitting .318. He has 30 home runs. Well, you go down the middle of this order. Hamilton with 40. Beltre with 30. Cruz with 22. It's 92 home runs among those three.
Your 9-hole hitter has 15.
Their leadoff guy has 16. The pitch is a strike.
These are the games that, as taxing as they are on you physically, mentally even more so, because there's just no let up. You have to bear down on each and every guy because they can hurt you.
Over to first. It's a low peg dug out by Pena. Andrus back in. Andrus caught stealing in the first inning of last night's game. Ground ball third. Keppinger down to second for the force to retire the side. Rays are coming in to hit bottom of the first. No score.
Today's game is available in Espanol via SAP, brought to you by Coventry Healthcare of Florida.
Well, let's take a peek at the Rays lineup. B.J. Upton's going to lead it off, followed by Jeff Keppinger and then Ben Zobrist. Evan Longoria is the DH. Ben Francisco's in left with Matt Joyce in right. Ryan Roberts at second base with Carlos Pena. Hitting eighth and catching is Jose Molina. First pitch, and Upton shoots it deep into right center field. That baby's going to get out of here. Home run on the first pitch saved by B.J. Upton. And the Rays are on the board and up 1-0. Upton's 19th home run of the year. Boy, he was ready for Oswald's first pitch and hit a rocket into right center.
Yeah, Roy Oswald did not get the memo. Don't try to throw a first pitch fastball out over the plate to B.J. Upton or Desmond Jennings. And that pitch actually got to the corner. But B.J.'s showing an awful lot of plate coverage and even better power to right center field. Gets this one started in a hurry for the Rays.
So B.J., who tops the team and home runs and runs batted in and stolen bases, starts this one with a loud home run to right center. Now Keppinger takes a strike from Oswald. Keppinger fouls it out of play, puts him down 0-2. So Oswald greeted on the very first pitch he throws by the Upton home run.
And you can see right there with just 10 walks and 52 and a third. The Rays know that he's going to be around the plate and works quickly.
Pitch down. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Desmond Jennings not in the lineup here this afternoon for the 2nd straight game, and with that, Upton today goes into the leadoff spot. And a little tapper. That's a foul ball grab by Soto, but a foul ball. Jennings had a little back tightness last night and today, and they're looking toward the beginning of the road trip for him to be back now. One-two. Keppinger takes it high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The fastball reading at 92 from Oswalt. And a broken bat. A little hopper down to the third baseman Beltre. The bat, the barrel end of the bat, winds up out near the shortstop spot. Keppinger's out third to first.
See this ball getting in. I mean, that ball way in off the handle. Just obliterated that bat.
Bat exploded on that off-speed pitch. Ben Zobrist taking a fastball for ball 1. Oswalt in here in the place of Matt Harrison. The Rangers moving Harrison back a couple days in the rotation and skipping his normal turn today. Harrison had had some problems against the Rays, and so they avoid him facing this lineup and give him a little extra rest. 2-1 to count now to Ben Zobrist. So Oswalt, after a couple of bullpen appearances, back in a starting role. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
A nasty pitch there by Oswalt, moving down and away from Ben. He'll come at you with the fastball, curveball, slider, change. Works quickly, throws strikes.
Down and in.
And really, you look at his
ball right there.
Yeah, exactly. And you're going to see them all. But again, with that idea of throwing strikes, as a starter, ERA of 5.84 and 8 starts, but the average against him as a starter is 335. Extremely high. It goes back to the fact that he is a strike thrower, but a lot of times they're not quality strikes. So the Rays should get some pitches today to take a whack at.
And ball 4 outside. Zobrist draws the walk. Runner at first with 1 out for Evan Longoria. Evan hitting .284 for the year. You see 11 home runs. That home run came in the game Friday night, his 2nd time up, when he connected off the left-hander Derek Holland. So he's 1 for 8 in the series with the home run. Evan takes a look at the first pitch, ball 1. Oswalt last year with the Phillies was 9 and 10. And the last few years has had some back issues, some disc issues in his back. Foul right back, and the count is 1-1. There's 163 career wins for Oswalt. Moved to first.
How about that winning percentage? There's 95 losses to go along with those high number of wins.
A couple of 20-win seasons in Houston back in 04 and 05. Line drive, base hit off the curveball. Longoria's aboard. Down to second goes Zobrist.
Well, two things there. First of all, Longoria, we told you this lineup's going to see all his pitches. He gets the curveball, but look where it's at. Does a nice job of staying back on it. That curveball split the plate and stayed up. Hittable pitches. Try not to get yourself out. Be patient. Evan was, and got a base hit out of it.
It's been Francisco. Pitch is a strike. Francisco starts the day at 242. He's in the starting lineup Friday night. Pinch hit last night. And he takes a strike, a fastball, puts him down 0-2. Rays with a first inning run on the leadoff home run by B.J. Upton. Zobrist on second and Longoria at first. A popper into shallow left. Murphy went back a step or two and now comes in and makes the catch.
Let's take a look at the Ranger defense as it lines up this afternoon in the outfield, left to right. David Murphy, Josh Hamilton, and Nelson Cruz across the infield. Third to first, Adrian Beltre, Elvis Andrus, Ian Kinsler, and Mitch Moreland. Giovanni Soto will be behind the plate. This afternoon's Ranger defense brought to you by Sweet Bay Supermarket. With meat so good, maybe it should be called Meat Bay.
Here's Matt Joyce. Joyce taps it foul. Time the change up, strike one. Matt with 15 home runs. You see his average 250. One ball, one strike. Wall turned 35 at the end of August. It was a late sign this year for Texas. Two balls and a strike. They signed him to a minor league contract at the end of May. He went to their AAA club and AA in Round Rock and Frisco, respectively. Making his 13th appearance for the Rangers. Up the left side. That ball's going to be fair. Bounding back toward the corner. Zobrist will score. Into third goes Longoria. It's a double for Joyce. And the Rays lead 2-0. Matt Joyce doubles home a run.
Now, big hit there for the Rays after the leadoff home run by B.J. Upton. Put together a couple more base runners, and then Matt Joyce with 2 outs able to slice this ball right down the left field line to plate another.
Matt Joyce picking up his 16th double of the season. Now Ryan Roberts. Pitch is low. Boy, a base hit right here. And the Rays could really have a big first inning. Ground ball headed to short. Andrus scoops and throws to retire the side. Rays send 7 men to the plate and score 2. First run coming on the home run by Upton. On to the second. 2-0 Tampa Bay. By Joyce driving in the runs. James Shields back to the hill. Cruz, Young, and Murphy due up. This pitch is a strike. Fastball around the knees. Foul right back. Nothing at 2. The Rays 3-2 on the 6-game homestand against the AL East leading Yankees and the AL West leading Rangers. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Chopper by the mound, going to be charged on the left side. The throw by Zobrist. Safe over at first. Now, Cruz didn't hit the ball hard enough to be out at first base.
Well, this was close, and Ben does a nice job of getting rid of it quickly. You see, not much on the throw there, and if that scoop, they got a chance. That was going to be bang bang either way. Let's see. Boy, they would have had him. But that's a tough scoop for Carlos Pena. Rush play all around.
It's an infield hit for Cruz. Here's Michael Young. Blown away. So Young at 267 average. 2-0. A home run by Young came in the first game of this series in the 5th inning. Ground ball short. Zobrist up and out to second. Roberts to first. 6-4-3 on the double play. Zobrist, Roberts to Pena.
James Shields getting a lot of ground balls this year. Another one right here, and just absolutely perfectly executed by the Rays. Nice feed by Ben. Leading Ryan Roberts right over the bag. Gives him plenty of time to square up and fire a strike to Pena.
Murphy. The pitch is a strike.
Let's take a look at the scouting report on Murphy, brought to you by Coventry Healthcare of Florida. Under the radar, this guy down in the order for the Texas Rangers, coming into play today, 6th in the American League in batting average. And right there, that's the main reason why will use the whole field. Double digits in home runs with 13. He's also driven in 54, but he's not afraid to go line to line.
1 ball, 2 strikes. You take a look right there. 29 hits to left, 43 to center, and 47 to right.
Yeah, really. I mean, at the end of the day, you look at the guys that are in the top 10 in the league in batting average, and you venture a guess that most of them are going to use the whole field.
Yeah, and he's just consistent right across the board. He's been very good. In fact, leads the league hitting within its scoring position. Liner toward right center, reaching up, it's Joyce, and takes a tumble after making the grab and hangs on. Murphy a shot toward right center, and Joyce racing back there with that outstretched arm, grabbed it in the glove, kept it as he hits the ground. 2-0 Rays. In the second inning, Carlos Pena leads off the home half of the second. He takes the first pitch, a ball. Pena, then Molina and Upton. One to count to Carlos Pena.
Tampa Bay Times is adding hundreds of new subscribers each week. Join them with a subscription to Tampa Bay's favorite newspaper. Call 877 The Times or visit tampabay.com/Rays offer. Come with us around the corner, around the globe.
And there's a ball down, 2-1. Pena called out last night. Ended the game in the 10th inning on a pitch off the plate away that was called a strike. He was eventually ejected in the aftermath of that at bat in that game. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Today's game and all season long, Tires Plus will donate $100 to the Pediatric Cancer Foundation for every Tampa Bay Rays home run televised on Sun Sports.
Jay Upton helping the cause with a leadoff home run in the first. A breaking ball down and in, and the count is full. Rays facing Roy Oswalt. Oswalt out of Weir, Mississippi. Spelled W-E-I-R, pronounced Weir. Who played first base for that team?
You can imagine.
Base hit the other way. Murphy up with it in left, and Pena's aboard to start the Rays second.
You can imagine the backstory behind that. Where, Mississippi, spelled W-E-I-R. Perfect.
So Pena is aboard. It's Jose Molina. It's inside. 1-0. Rays with 4 hits and a walk. Over to first, Pena returns to the bag safely. Time the Rays saw Oswalt at a start was here at Tropicana Field back in June of 2008. He won that game. Two balls and a strike. Turned out to be a 5-2 winner in that game here at the Trop back in 2008. The Rays got him for 2 runs in the first inning in this game. Two balls, 2 strikes. There's a shot to left by Molina. Pretty well tagged and gone. Well, Molina got hold of that one and hits his 6th home run of the year. And the Rays take an early 4-0 lead. Second home run of the game for the Rays off Oswalt.
Now, we said the Rays were going to get some pitches to hit today. What are they going to do with them? Jose Molina, nice there. This ball stays out over the plate, running in, but it's running in. There's no sinking action, so it's not going to get below the bat, and Jose does a great job of pulling his hands in tight to his body.
Now a big cut and a miss by B.J. Upton. Strike one. Breaking ball, and that's a strike. 0-2. And Molina had a couple pitches during that sequence out over the plate. A wave and a miss on a fastball out at 93 to strike out Upton.
Well, with Oswalt here so far in the early going, there have been misses that are well off the plate, easy takes, and a lot of pitches out over the white. And the ones out over the white haven't been at the knees. They've been at the thighs, the belt. The Rays have had a lot of good swings so far just in the second inning.
Now Jeff Keppinger. There's a ball. Ball, no strikes. And a base hit through the hole between short and third, and Keppinger's aboard.
Well, watch where this pitch is. A 1-0 fastball to Jeff Keppinger, and this ball right in the middle of the plate. I mean, that's right there. That is good hitting.
Well, Oswalt missing spots, and he's only 4 of 11 in first pitch strikes.
Yeah,
was behind there 1-0.
Bad combination. And nothing's been down for the most part. Everything that middle third and up.
Whereas the left-hander starts to loosen for Texas. Zobrist starts after that one and did go after it, says plate umpire Larry Vanover. That's a strike. One and one. Pop up, foul ball, and Soto back of the plate handles that one. Breaking ball retires Zobrist. So the Rays with 2 in the first, they have 2 in the second. Keppinger's at first base with 2 outs, and Evan Longoria bats again. That's a strike. Evan sent a breaking pitch into left field in the first. Single. That's low. Did he go? No, says Jerry Lane on the appeal. 1-1. Takes it to a 1-2 count, and about in front. Keppinger, who's at first, is now 7 out of 17 lifetime against Oswalt, and he's about the only guy in the Rays lineup with much experience against Oswalt. Pitch popped up, shallow center. Hamilton coming in, making the catch to retire the side. The Rays get 2 on the Jose Molina home run. We're at the end of 2, and it's 4-0 Tampa Bay.
nothing as we welcome you back to Tropicana Field. We're joined by Katie Kearns right now. She is the Florida chapter president and founder of Families of SMA. Tell us a little bit about SMA, and we're trying to get the word out about what exactly it is.
Well, SMA is spinal muscular atrophy. It's one of the muscular dystrophies under the Muscular Dystrophy Association umbrella, but it's the #1 genetic killer of all children under the age of 2.
And you got involved. Giovanni Soto leads things off here for the Rangers here in the 3rd inning. You got involved with this lovely lady behind us, right?
Yes, this is my 7.5-year-old daughter, Allison. And Allison was diagnosed with SMA when she was 16 months old. SMA is muscle weakness throughout the entire body, so many of our kids can't walk or stand, but they're happy little kids, as you can see.
Beautiful little 7.5-year-old now. And if we want more information, we want to send people to the website, right?
Yes.
FSMA.org?
Yes, FSMA.org or CureSMA.org. So it takes you to the same place.
We appreciate the time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
A lot of people call this, baby Lou Gehrig's disease, because and the crazy thing is that a lot of people don't even realize, right, that they
No, 1 in 40 people in the entire world carry the mutated gene that you pass on. You need mom and dad to pass that on. If you have an audience of 20,000 fans, 500 of them are going to be carriers. So we're really trying to raise awareness and let people know about our carrier test that doctors and gynecologists can offer the families.
Katie, thank you so much for the information.
Thank you.
Raise and FSMA, FSMA.org, the place to get more information. Beautiful, beautiful children around us here. Guys, back to you.
All right, Todd, thank you. Soto was called out on strikes, and Mitch Moreland swings through a fastball to start his sequence of pitches here. So a couple strikeouts in this game for Shields. It's a foul ball, 0-2. Moreland, as you see, with 15 home runs. One for 4 in the first game of the series. The count to 1-2. Shields working with a 4-run lead early in this game. That's a strike call. Moreland caught looking. Back-to-back ball third strikes here in the 3rd inning.
Boy, you can track this fastball right down in the inner 3rd. Shield just bores this thing right there. That's a tough pitch.
Two up, 2 down. It's Kinsler. Picks up a strike to Kinsler on the inner part of the plate. That's what he's done here in the 3rd. He got Soto with a nice pitch in on him. Soto sort of gave up on, and it caught the inside part of the plate to the right-handed hitter. And then with Moreland, he got him in. The left-handed hitter kept that pitch right there on the corner. And he started Kinsler with a nice pitch for a strike on the inside edge. High pop up, a foul ball. That's going to go straight back out of play. And Shields has come out here with excellent command so far. 9 of 10 first pitch strikes for Shields, and he's put some pitches right on the corners.
And when he can continually pitch ahead, he can expand the zone with that changeup, and you're in big trouble.
Line drive to center, right to BJ, and he makes the catch. 1-2-3 go the Rangers. Rays lead 4-0 through 2.5. Baltimore. Robinson Cano single home run in the first inning of Zach Britton. That game's now moving into the top of the fourth with New York leading Baltimore 1-0. Freddie Garcia against Zach Britton. The pitching matchup in that one. And the Texas Rangers make a pitching change. Martin Perez comes on after Oswalt worked the front 2 innings and allowed 4 runs.
Well, Perez comes on for just the 7th time. You see in 20 innings of work, just 10 strikeouts, 8 walks. And Roy Oswalt, his 2 innings of work, just too many pitches that were out over the plate at the thighs. Rays hitters took advantage.
In Francisco, the first man to face Perez. 1 strike to count. Francisco, Joyce, and then Roberts here. So Oswalt made 49 pitches, gave up 4 runs on 6 hits, 2 of those home runs. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Two and 2. Rays getting their first look at Perez. And the count goes full. The fastball in at 94. And a broken bat. Ground ball right there. This is the 3rd stint for Perez with the Texas Rangers. He was up stint at the end of June into July, and then about a week at the end of July. Foul ball. So we'll see a 3rd 3-2 pitch. He was at AAA Round Rock. Made 21 starts there, 7 and 6. With a .425 earned run average. So he's getting his first work this time around with Texas. A bouncer to 3rd. Beltre makes the throw to first. It's scooped by Moreland for the first out. Let's check in again with Todd.
Well, Dwayne, you mentioned that Orioles score, and last night the Orioles suffering a big blow in their 5-4 victory. Nick Markakis hit by a pitch from CC Sabathia. Rays fans will remember Carlos Pena breaking a hand when he was hit by a Sabathia fastball. Markakis ends up suffering a broken left thumb, out 4 to 6 weeks. The Orioles hope, at least Buck Showalter said after the game, he hoped to get him back at some point late in the postseason, but that is a key cog in their lineup. In there today in right field, Chris Davis in his place. Guys, back to you.
Well, there's Matt Joyce taking a pitch down. 1 ball, no strikes. Well, Carlos Pena knows all about being hit by CC Sabathia, who got Markakis. 1 to count. Two and 1. We're 6-1 for the Rays. 0-1-0 for Texas. Pitch just missed. 3-1. Last outing for Perez overall was on the 30th of August, so this is his first action competitively since he pitched in AAA against New Orleans and pitched 6 innings on August 30th. Gets a visit from his catcher Soto. He went 3-2 to Francisco, finally got him on a ground ball, and now he's 3-1 to Joyce.
Yeah, when you're talking about that much time off, that will affect your rhythm, your tempo, your command. I don't care who you are. It's tough to not pitch for 10, 11 days and go out there and be right on the corners, making the pitches that you need to get major league hitters out.
And he walks Joyce. So Matt is on for the second time.
You know, and you do your best, you know, working in the bullpen and trying to throw with high intensity to keep yourself sharp. But there's just something different about getting out in the middle of the field, the fans in the stands, and a hitter at the plate. You just can't replicate down the bullpen.
Ryan Roberts. There's the strike. And a little looper into center, going to fall for a base hit. Big hop in front of Hamilton. Joyce stops at second as Roberts drops one into short center. Mike Maddox, pitching coach for the Rangers, heads to the mound.
Well, this ball right off the label. Ryan Roberts able to muscle that pitch into center field and drop it in there. Mike Maddox trying to loosen up his young pitcher. Telling him, listen, your stuff is good enough. Fastball's plenty good, breaking stuff, trust it. Trust the game plan that we put together on these hitters and follow Soto around. The Mosaic Company and the Rays are working together to end hunger through home runs for food. Each Rays home run, Mosaic donates $500 to Feeding America Tampa Bay, and so far, $69,500 has been donated.
Well, the Rays off to a 4-0 lead and 2 men on with 1 out in the third. Carlos Pena will bat against the left-hander. Carlos singled and scored on the Molina home run in the second inning. The first pitch is a strike. Strike the count. And a strike puts Pena down, getting word that Oswalt left with some soreness in his right elbow. So he's gone after 49 pitches in 2 innings. One ball, 2 strikes. Rays with 7 hits. Gone a couple of walks. Foul ball with the shift on for Pena. Makes it difficult for Joyce to take any liberties at second. Elvis Andrus was actually straddling the bag at second base when that last pitch was made. The 1-2 and a liner into right field. Cruz Cruz there to make the catch. Joyce back to tag, but that's all he'll do as the runners remain at first and second.
And that ball got out to right field too quick, and Matt Joyce in the secondary, he's upset with himself. Felt like he could have gotten back there and made the tag. It was certainly deep enough, but it wasn't the typical fly ball where you've got time. You see Joyce freezes on that, and then as it's caught, he runs back. Right there, that little hesitation cost him. That was going to be tough either way.
Yeah, Cruz has a very healthy arm out there in right field. He has 8 assists on the year. Here's Jose Molina. Breaking ball for a strike.
Plus, you don't want to run. You're already in scoring position, and you don't want to run into a potential out when you got Jose Molina at the plate. See what he did his last time up?
That's right. A strike the count. Molina up there against the left-hander. Perez out of Venezuela. One ball, one strike. Perez, just 22 years old. Now it's a 2-1 count to Jose Molina. Molina, the number 9 hitter, batting for the second time in this game here in the third. And a strike on the outside part of the plate. 2-2. Perez, left-hander with a good arm, and the Rangers have very high hopes for this young left-hander.
Well, you've already seen that velocity in the mid-90s, that slider that he threw to Carlos Pena down and away at 86 with great break. Stuff.
And a cut to miss. Molina out reaching on the 95-mile-per-hour fastball. Rays lead 2 through 3, 4-0 Tampa Bay. Welcome back to Tropicana Field. We go to the fourth inning. Elvis Andrus leads it off, and the first pitch from James Shields in there for strike one. 4-7-1 for the Rays. 0-1-0 for Texas. A little tap charged by Keppinger. Barehands it. The throw to first in time. Well, Keppinger, a nice job right there. Number one, coming in on the bare hand. Not an easy play to begin with.
He didn't want it to be a bare hand. He was coming in to glove it, and this ball actually, watch it bounce towards the glove hand. Here he comes in to field it, and right there, it takes a bounce over towards the bare hand, and so then he's forced to reach down. You see, he wanted to use the glove, but that ball, tough to tell from that angle, but it hit and kicked just a little bit to the left. Great recovery by Keppinger.
One strike to count to Josh Hamilton. It's a 1-1 count. Doing one Hamilton. Lifetime 4 out of 28 against Shields, with 11 strikeouts in that stretch and a couple of home runs. Chopper for Roberts. 2 gone. Two up, 2 down. Time for the AT&T trivia question now. Rays pitcher recorded the most strikeouts in his first 3 career starts with the Rays. Adrian Beltre in the batter's box. 1 ball, no strikes. Strike now. 1 and 2.
We just don't see many pitchers throw that changeup in. You see James Shield do it. You also see Jeremy Hellickson do it.
A liner going to be fouled down the left side, holding the count at 1 and 2.
Still tough to get Adrian Beltre off the fastball. He followed that changeup in with a fastball in, and he was still able to get out in front of it.
Yankees having a big inning in the top of the 4th at Baltimore. They've scored 4 so far and lead 5-0. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rays on their next road trip head into Baltimore and New York. The 2-2 popped into shallow left. Zobrist down. He's making the call and the catch. And 1-2-3 go the Texas Rangers. Bottom of inning 4 coming. 4-0 Rays. Trivia question here. Which Rays pitcher recorded the most strikeouts in his first 3 career starts with the Rays? Well, we saw him last night. Chris Archer, 25 strikeouts now. Wade Davis had 22. The prior record holder for the Rays in the rookie pitching department. First pitch here. B.J. Upton takes it down. Upton facing Martin Perez, the hard-throwing lefty. Pitch inside. Three balls, no strikes. And a long one to left. Off the bat of Upton and gone. Home run for B.J. Upton. He got the green light, 3-0. And boy, did he lower the boom on that one. A 2-home-run day for Upton. And the Rays lead 5-0. B.J. gets to 20 with that home run to left.
Well, B.J. so much more dangerous when he's able to get extension on a ball that was not up and out over the plate, but it was middle. He sizes it up. Boy, does he make solid contact. I'll tell you, B.J., in the last month, his home runs, a handful of them have been big blasts.
Keppinger takes the first pitch following the home run, and that pitch in there for a strike. Boy, Upton hit a couple laser shots in this game. The first one to right center. Now Keppinger takes this one to right center, and it skips past Cruz, backed up by Hamilton. And Keppinger is aboard, giving him 2 for 3.
Well, how about B.J.? That home run to left impressive, but how about the one to right center?
Yeah.
Hitting the ball. Yeah, we talked about B.J. being more aggressive at the plate, but his ability to hit the ball the other way with some juice. And then Keppinger right there with a base hit the other way. Good signs all around.
And when Upton hits the ball to right center, it helps him hit the ball to left, as he did, and he just smoked that 3-0 pitch to left field here in this inning.
Makes him more dangerous, more difficult to defend, tougher to pitch to.
Now Ben Zobrist takes the pitch for a strike. Well, Upton had a 2-home-run game up in Minnesota in early August. On August the 11th, ground ball short. Andrus takes it to Kinsler 1, and Zobrist is safe at first base.
How about that? Hustle by Ben Zobrist. Hesitation on the part of the Rangers. No sense of urgency in turning that double play. That was as tailor-made as you're going to get. Wasn't like that ball was softly hit. This ball, and he's coming out from the right side, hits that ball hard, but look at the hustle. Ian Kinsler took his time there on the transfer, and that's where they lost it. Watch this. Right here. Everything just took too long. No sense of urgency at all.
Kevin Longoria takes a strike on the outside corner. Yeah, how about that? It's over. Just hustled his way in to a safe call at first, and Ron Washington.
Oh,
he's more upset over that than he is the home run.
I'll bet you. I'll absolutely agree with that. Steam coming out of those ears.
There's a base hit past Beltre. Single into left. Silver stops at second.
Hey, listen, this game is tough enough. You're gonna physically not be able to make a play from time to time. You're gonna leave a pitch out over the plate. Guy's gonna hit a home run. But it's that lack of hustle, lack of effort, lack of urgency that will drive a coaching staff crazy. And here you got a ground ball. You can get out of that situation, get 2 quick outs. It just didn't happen.
The Rays in double figures, 10 hits. They have 5 runs.
I like that presence on the mound there, too, by Mike Maddox. He's got a young pitcher out there, doesn't want him to get discouraged. He's very upbeat, positive, when he goes out to the mound. You could see it on his face.
Number 13, Ben Francisco.
Ben Francisco. Pitch wide. Upton hit 2 home runs off Nick Blackburn in that game at Minnesota back on the 11th of April. He has 2 home runs in this game. And the pitch, Francisco went around, says Jerry Lane on the appeal. Larry Vanover called the pitch a ball. On the appeal down, Lane said that Francisco offered. Take on a pitch down. 2-1. Ground ball, third base. Beltre's second one, first base 2, and Kinsler a little quicker on the draw that time in the middle of that 5-4-3 double play. Rays get a run on the long home run by B.J. Upton. We're through 4, and the Rays lead 5-0.
It's 5-0. Let's take a look at those potential double plays. The second one got turned, but here's the first one. Watch Ian Kinsler right here. Just kind of take his time and then feather the ball to first, and Ben Zobrist beats it out. Obviously, not real happy with that. Watch how quick this turn is. Boom. And with effort on the throw, he gets that BB over there in time, and that probably saved him a little chewing out over there on the bench, where that play right there to end the inning was just basically telling manager Ron Washington, I get it.
Nelson Cruz opens the 5th. And Shields misses with the first pitch. A little high, a ball and no strikes. Pitch in on Cruz. He pops him up. And that ball, foul ball, and it touched some of the rigging up there, and so it's a foul ball, and as such a dead ball when it makes contact with anything up there involving the catwalks. So it's a dead ball in foul territory, and the count is 1-1.
What's the call when it hits the wooden cow out in right center field?
You get a couple of extra tickets and some ice cream.
Always ice cream.
Here's a fly ball to left. Francisco is there, and he makes the catch. And if you've been a really good guy, the ice cream is served by Luke Scott with a towel draped over his forearm.
That's right. 4 scoops of chocolate.
That's it.
Oh, the power of the press.
All right, one away. Michael Young is the hitter for Texas. Strike one. One out, base is empty.
One.
Ground ball headed to short. Zobrist stays with it. Throw to first. Got him. So 2 outs. Zobrist bounced it around a bit, but stayed with it. Made the play. Time for the Just for Men Keep Your Edge spotlight. How about this breakout? Keppinger, his batting average by position in his career. So would you prefer to have him play first base, I guess? Just as Jeff Keppinger
you know what?
an edge, you could keep your edge with Just for Men mustache and beard.
Or short. First or short.
Fly ball to left off the bat of Murphy. Toward the corner, Francisco over there to take care of it. 1, 2, 3. Bottom of the 5th coming. It's 5-0. Tampa Bay. Matt Joyce will lead off. Joyce, Roberts, and Pena. It's fouled. Out of play. Strike one. Chopper foul. 0-2. Cut the miss. Joyce out on strikes. Second strikeout for Martin Perez. Toyota Trend the Rays and the Rangers wrapping up the season series. They've gone 4-4, and it's been pretty evenly matched. Home runs 10 apiece. The team ERAs pretty close, and the Rays have actually out-hit the Rangers in the season series. Roberts takes a strike. Rays have out-hit them 10-1 today, and they lead 5-0. The right side, and that's slicing out of play. 4 of the 5 runs charged to Oswalt in 2 innings. The Rays get 2 home runs off him. They have 1 off Perez. Down. How about this for Shields? He has made only 53 pitches through 5 innings against Texas in this game. That pitch is down. 2-2.
Well, you've got an aggressive lineup. You've got an attacking pitcher who's throwing quality strikes, getting early swings, and a lot of outs. It's a great combination.
Foul down the left side. We'll see another 2-2 pitch.
In direct contrast to the bottom halves of innings.
Yes. Well, Oswalt made 49 pitches in 2 innings. And Perez has shown that he can run some deep counts.
More than capable. We all are.
The count still 2-2 on Roberts. Another pitch out of play.
And that just illustrates and proves the point of how good James has been here through 5 innings. Facing a really tough lineup, but boy, he has made his pitches. He's got them all working.
Fouled again.
It seems it seems like we say that almost every day. Chris Archer, well, he had everything working. Fastball,
well, he did.
Yeah, slider, the changeup.
Yeah, and what I still love
got to work on the hat wearing. But
Archer, aside from the basic stuff, there's been such a metamorphosis of him from his point of view of confidence. Having those 2 games earlier in the year served him really well, and he was right enough to understand he can pitch. And he went back to AAA and pitched up a storm and pitched a great game last night.
Yeah, I mean, didn't go down and pout. He went down and dominated. And really, there was no guarantee of a callback.
Yep. This is Cruz toward the line at right, handling the fly ball. That's 2 gone.
If Jeff Neiman is not hurt, that's a spot that he's going to take. So there's no, guarantee that he was going to come back, but he was on the call, on the ready. He gets called back, and what did he do? He just went out and dominated with the mid-90s fastball, that slider, the changeup, rung up 11 strikeouts against this lineup, and finished by punching out the last 3. He still got the size of 7. Tremendous outing, and you're right. The confidence level has grown noticeably. Just the way he carries himself.
Well, it speaks to the mental side of this game. Here's Pena fouling it away. He had a great arm to begin with. I mean, you could see that when the Rays got him from the Cubs, and a few times we've seen him in the spring. You knew the arm was there. And then the command, the next thing to come. And when he came up here and pitched those 2 games against Washington and Kansas City, it solidified in his mind and heart that he was good enough to pitch in the big leagues. And he's been pitching great ever since.
Well, you know what? We talked about the numbers last night. Just this year, 4.5 walks per 9 in the minors. For his career, 5.1. That's always been the issue with him, is the strike throwing, not the arm or the stuff. If you had taken just the 3 starts he's made in the big leagues, would you ever say this guy has command issues?
No,
he's been unbelievable. I mean, you would think that would be the last concern of yours. 2 walks his first 2 starts. I mean, last night he was spot on with everything against, like I said, an extremely difficult lineup to pitch to. I'll tell you what, Joe Madden's staff, Andrew, got to be excited. You know, it's one thing to have a prospect that you've traded for and has come in, you know, in a big deal. But to watch him pitch and be able to translate his stuff and his game to the major league level like he has is exciting.
Pena's out on strikes. The Rays up and down in order. We go to the 6th, 5-0 Tampa Bay.
Lead the Rangers 5-0. Let's take a look at our AutoWay text poll question for this afternoon. How should the Rays use Chris Archer down the stretch? TB1, put him in the rotation. TB2, bullpen duty. TB3, you can use him in a spot start type situation. Send your vote 789. 789 standard message and data rates apply.
Well, a couple of things he does for the Rays now, particularly with the Neiman situation, number one, and with the spot start he made yesterday with David Price, and the innings build-up of Alex Cobb. So he could play a role affecting that rotation that way. And you like what's going on there in the development?
Well,
right?
I did. Let's see if he's able to make the adjustment here when the shoulder comes up. Yeah, see, the hat was on right.
Soto, the first pitch went up and in to him. 1 ball, no strikes. It was looking pretty good.
He looked very professional.
Yeah. And
then the hoodie came off, and the hat went back up to, you know, railroad conductor.
There's a strike. It's 1-1.
See, right there.
Yeah.
Choo Choo. That's his nickname now. Choo Choo.
Soto called out on strikes his first time. Back in here against Shields. And lifts a fly ball to center. Upton's going to go back a few steps for it. That's the first out.
Well, let's take a look at Chris Archer in the hat wearing right there. Tight, professional. I mean, that right there, that looks like a ball player ready to go. That thing tight down close to the ear. Not a lot of forehead showing. Then the hoodie comes off. And here you go. Right back to Norfolk and Southern. See, too much forehead.
Yeah.
Can even live with the flat bill, but just not so much forehead. Closer to the ears. Tighten it up. I think his approach is, after the way I threw the ball last night, I'll wear my hat any way I feel like it.
That's right. The pitch is a strike. on the outside. A lot more scrutiny in the big leagues. You know, everybody has an opinion.
I'm just still bitter about last night. I had a bad sports night last night, Dwayne.
Oh, no. Well, who didn't? This pitch a little
Yeah, you
out
too.
to the right side. Roberts with a flip to first. And Moreland is out. That's 13 in a row. Retired now by Shields. Boy, Shields, you talk about being spot on here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just continues
Against this lineup.
Right. And here, just 5 pitches in, 2 more outs. He just continues to attack the zone, mix his pitches, pitching with a lot of confidence. He's got an aggressive team that he has in swing mode. And so, you know, if you can put a lineup into swing mode and make quality pitches, you can get a lot of early in the count outs, which is exactly what he's done. And how that relates to you, Darvish, I have no idea.
The pitch. He's a strike to Kinsler. One and one. The Baltimore Orioles have scored 3 in the bottom of the 4th. So they're right back in that game. It's 5-3. New York had a 4-run 4th and the Orioles 3. 2 balls, 1 strike. There's a strike to square the count at 2-2. Popped up right side. Roberts making the call. 1, 2, 3. Go the Texas Rangers. Bottom of the 6th coming. 5-0 Rays. On the board in their game in the bottom of the 4th at home against New York. Wilson Benameat driving in 2. And Benameat scores on this base hit to right by Matt Wieters. Both starting pitchers, Garcia and Britton, out of that game. Molina goes after the first pitch from Perez and lifts a fly ball to center, and Hamilton's right there to make the catch. Garcia worked 3 1/3. 4 giving way to Chamberlain. Zach Britton gone after 3 1/3 for the Orioles. Jake Arrieta in the game now for Baltimore. Here's Upton swinging. Number 21 on the year, and the Rays lead 6-0. Upton hit the first pitch in the bottom of the first out of here. Hit a 3-0 pitch out in the fourth. First pitch he sees here in the sixth, he hits it out.
Well, a hanging curveball right out over the plate. He waits back on it and just drops the head, and for the third time today, and I think the fans are begging for a curtain call.
There it is.
There you go.
BJ acknowledging the fans here. And the pitch to Jeff Keppinger following that home run. Too low. 1 ball, no strikes to Keppinger.
All right, I vote right now, no more off days before an off day for BJ.
There's a strike. Well, I guess Joe Madden again knows what he's doing. When he gave BJ the day off before the day off. And for the first time in his career, he's hit 3 home runs in a single game. Here's a long drive off the bat of Keppinger. That's going to send Murphy to the wall, and he leaps to make the catch in line with the 370 marker. So Keppinger gave it a ride, making a bid for a home run of his own, and that sent Murphy back to the wall. Two gone with the bases empty. And here is Ben Zobrist. Swing and a miss. Strike one. Ball, 1 strike. The strike at the knees, and the count is now 1-2. Ground ball chopped to Andrus. It's short. They throw to first, ends it, but the Rays tack on another run on the home run by B.J. Upton. Upton's 3rd home run of the day, and the Rays lead 6-0. Rays center fielder. He opened the Rays scoring, and since has added 2 more home runs on a 3-for-4 day, and the Rays lead 6-0 as we head into the 7th inning. And James Shields has been equally as excellent on the mound. 63 pitches through 6 innings for Shields, allowing just the 1 hit. And that was an infield hit by Nelson Cruz to lead off the 2nd.
And we talked about James being efficient, especially during that 7-start stretch that he's been on. But he's taken it to a new level this afternoon.
Well, he faces Andrus here to begin the 7th. Pitch is a strike on the outside part of the plate.
And that right there is a microcosm of today's game. I mean, that fastball right on the corner, everything has been finding the corner just off. Not very many pitches out over the white part of the plate, and when they have been, they've typically been that changeup that he's been able to drop below the zone.
Didn't miss by much there. Well, he gave up a base runner on the error. He was charged with an error on the ball that Andrus hit to first in the 1st. He hasn't walked anybody. Tapper foul. 1-2. It's been a special day here for Upton. 3 times in franchise history have the Rays had a hitter with 3 home runs in a single game. Johnny Gomes, one of them, and Evan Longoria the other one, and now B.J. Upton joins that short list. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. A foul ball out of play. Still a 2-2 count. Played wide. 3 balls, 2 strikes. How about this for Shields as well? Of 20 hitters, 17 first pitch strikes. That's the other thing that was so impressive about Archer last night. 22 first pitch strikes for Archer in 26 hitters. And Shields comes right back today, going 17 out of 20 so far. And this is the first full count he's had on a hitter today.
Well, and so many times when you face a lineup like the Rangers, you want to nibble and pick. And so, you know, first pitch is just off and you're falling behind. That plays right into their hands. You've got good stuff. That is all.
And that is strike 3 call. Andrus tried to coax the walk out of Larry Vanover, and he won't give it to him. Strike 3. To open the 7th inning.
Well, a lot of hitters out there. See, Andrus did not recognize that was a front door cutter, and this ball certainly out of the hand, starts off the plate, but Shields cuts it right back to that inside corner, or not. Larry Vanover thought he did. He got the call.
That's the first out of the 7th. Well, you're around the plate all the time. You throw strikes. As you so often hear, you're going to get a call now and then, and boy, did he.
That's what that pitch is designed to do. You throw that ball, you start it in and off, the hitter gives up on it. A little bit of movement, gets you a strike.
0-1 to count to Hamilton. Goes out after that changeup and missed it.
How about that late action on that changeup? What kept that down and away, and that just took off. James is feeling it right now.
And a cut to miss. Right back with the exact same pitch.
Hey, listen, Josh Hamilton, he loves to swing the bat. He will expand the zone, and sometimes he'll do it in a big way. So why not? You've got him down in the count. Don't need to throw him anything over the plate. Go right back to the spot that he just swung and missed at, and he did it again. Can you feel it?
Adrian Beltre. And a cut and a miss. But that's 19 out of 22 first pitch strikes.
Well, and again, with a team like the Rangers in swing mode, that ball was in the dirt. He gets a strike out of it.
1-1. Ground ball outside of third. Takes the count to 1-2. Hot shot, foul, back to third. Rays lead here 6-0. Orioles batting in the bottom of the fifth, trailing the Yankees 5-3. Rays starting 2 back in the wild card, 2 back in the AL East. And a cut and a miss. Beltre out on strikes. Shields strikes out Andres, Hamilton, and Beltre. Time for the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by your local Gulf Coast Honda dealers. Big day for the Rays and for B.J. Upton. Upton has hit 3 home runs today. The Rays have a 6-0 lead. James Shields has limited Texas to just 1 infield hit. And the Rays come into bat in the bottom of the 7th inning with Longoria, Francisco, and Joyce due up. Somebody's going to have to get on base in the next couple of innings to give B.J. Upton a chance at a 4-home-run day. If things stay the way they are right now, the Rays have a 6-run lead. Upton, Francisco, and Joyce due in this inning.
Well, they got the club music pumping right now, so you know how that fires up the Rays. Got everything but the disco ball. They'll be fine.
Teed Perez on in relief of Roy Oswalt. Rays got 4 runs in 2 innings off Oswalt, and they have 2 off Perez via the Upton home runs. Here's Evan Longoria. Takes a pitch outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Two and 0. Longoria had a base hit in the first. He had a single in the 4th inning. Hitting .290 right now. Ground ball by the mound to second. A step from the outfield and a throw Kinsler to Moreland. 1 away.
We'll celebrate that special occasion by purchasing a game-used lineup card, base, baseball, or autographed items from your favorite Rays players. These one-of-a-kind items can be purchased at RaysBaseball.com/gameday or at the Rays Authentics game-used merchandise stand at Tropicana Field.
Now first pitch strike into Ben Francisco. 0-1. High fly ball back into center. Hamilton with a lot of room. 2 gone.
Well, the Boston Red Sox are coming to town for a late season 4-game series. Watch the Rays battle it out against this AL East train wreck September 17th through the 20th. For tickets, call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com.
There's Matt Joyce. Joyce doubled in a run in the first. And a line drive into center field. That's going to fall in front of Hamilton, who had to cut to his left to play it on the 1 big hop. And the Rays now have a dozen hits. Matt Joyce on for the 3rd time today. Scott Feldman up in the bullpen. And so Roberts stepping in now. Ground ball down to third, picked up by Beltre. The force at second base. So a base hit by Joyce. That should have make sure that Upton has an at bat in the 8th. 6-0 Rays. By the Florida Department of Transportation. Drive sober or get pulled over. And by Subway Restaurants. Play hard, eat fresh. Rays lead 6-0 as this game moves into the top of the 8th inning.
Okay. Well, entertain your company's top clients and employees in style from a private suite at Tropicana Field. Game reservations are available, so call 888-FAN-RAISE or email suites@raisebaseball.com.
Well, Nelson Cruz leads off the 8th. He has the only Texas hit today. First pitch is a strike. That makes it 20 out of 23 first pitch strikes for Shields. Cruz had the infield hit back in the second inning. One ball, one strike to count. Sam Fold is in the game for the Rays and left here in the 8th inning. Here's Sam. Fly ball lifted toward right center. BJ Upton there, and he makes the catch. One gone. Michael Young. Young 0 for 2 and a couple of ground balls to short. First one resulted in a 6-4-3 double play after Cruz had reached on the infield hit. One strike the count now to Young. Inside 1-1. Ground ball shortstop again. Zobrist with the throw to first. That'll take care of Michael Young. 2 up and 2 down.
Start your weekend off right and catch the Rays as they take on the Blue Jays Friday, September the 21st. The first 10,000 fans will receive a Desmond Jennings t-shirt courtesy of Tampa Bay Times as part of Friday Fest presented by Captain Morgan. It's at raisebaseball.com for tickets right now.
David Murphy, and he takes a strike. Murphy a couple of fly balls. Joyce made a great catch on a ball he hit into right center field in the second. And a line drive base hit into center field. Only the second hit collected off James Shields. The infield hit back and lead off the second by Nelson Cruz. And a line drive 2-out base hit to center field here in the 8th inning. So Murphy's aboard. And now the catcher, Giovanni Soto. Soto has struck out and hit a fly ball to center. Pitch is too low. Ball, no strikes. One ball cutting away from him. One and two.
How about those last two pitches? Cutter down and away, swing and miss, and then drop the sinker down and in. Soto's got to be thinking, what else do I have to cover? Oh, yeah, that's right. The changeup, middle down.
And good luck with that. Changeup, middle down. He strikes him out. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 6-0 Tampa Bay. on the 8th of May in Baltimore, hit 4 home runs. There's the first one. Hit one to center, that one out to left. That one a ton. And then there's number 4 into the bullpen. Well, B.J. Upton has hit 3 home runs today. He'll hit 3rd in this inning. Upton's first career 3 home run game, and the 3rd time in Rays history they've had a hitter belt 3 home runs in a game. And here's Carlos Pena to start the bottom of the 8th with a base hit the other way over the head of Beltre. That's the 2nd time that Pena's gone the other way. He's 2 for 4 today. Jose Molina's due. And now Ron Washington comes out of the dugout. He had Perez face the left-handed bat of Pena, who singles. And the Texas Rangers will make a pitching change. So Oswalt for 2, followed by Perez. And Perez leaves with a runner on here in the 8th inning. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Metro PCS. Jose Molina due next, and the Texas Rangers have made a pitching change. The right-hander Yosunori Tateyama comes on. So the man aboard, Perez, departs, working 5 innings plus, giving up a couple of runs on the 2 home runs hit by Upton off him. Upton hit 1 off Oswalt. Rays have hit 4 home runs today, 3 by Upton and another one by Jose Molina. Tateyama tried to sink the ball most of the time. Here's Molina. Ground ball down to 3rd. Beltre to Kinsler and over to 1st. So they get the double play on the ground ball. So with the bases empty and 2 outs, here's B.J. Upton. Crowd responds to the performance Upton has turned in today, and in anticipation of what could happen.
Oh, and Tateyama, like you said, likes to sink the ball, likes to run that ball down in the zone. BJ's very good at the ball down in the zone, getting that good extension.
Well, here's the first pitch from the Texas right-hander, and BJ rolls it fair, back of the bag at 3rd. Beltre's throw to 1st in time. Tateyama comes in and throws 2 ground balls. He breaks Upton's home run bat on that ground ball back at third. Rays lead 6-0. We go to the 9th. Stand here with the Texas Rangers. Pick up play on Tuesday night. We'll be with you. Rays Live presented by the Gulf Coast Honda dealers. Our coverage begins at 6:30 from Camden Yards as the playoff push continues. Pre-game show featuring another VA breakdown.
Starting to get to be mentally exhausting having a breakdown every day.
Late in the season. You are resilient though. 92 pitches for Shields. He's given up just the 2 hits, no walks. Shields with 7 strikeouts. And he's 23 out of 26 in first pitch strikes on the heels of Chris Archer, who threw 22 first pitch strikes and 26 hitters in the game here last night. Mitch Moreland leads it off. And the pitch is down, a ball, no strikes. Ground ball headed to shortstop. 1 away.
For all the latest updates on your Tampa Bay Rays, log on to TampaBay.com. From the diamond to the clubhouse, we bring you the in-depth news, stories, and scores 24 hours a day only at TampaBay.com, powered by the Tampa Bay Times.
Well, we go back around to the top of the order. Ian Kinsler 0 for 3. Pitch inside to him. Kinsler is grounded out, lined out, and popped out. Cut the miss. Shields, after his second shutout of the year, he shut out the A's out in Oakland on the last day of July. That was an 8-0 win, a 3-hitter.
Referenced that 7-start streak that he's been on. That's what got it started. That game out there, that was on the trading deadline.
The only loss during that stretch for him was a 1-0 loss to the Rangers in Texas. And a 1-hopper to second. Roberts with the throw to first. 2 up, 2 down here in the 9th inning.
Well, not an easy play there for Roberts. That ball came off the bat kind of goofy looking. It looked like it was going to be a line drive, potentially right to Roberts. Had a little weird spin on it. Wasn't hit that hard. Just smothers it. He's got to
Well, now he has Elvis Andrus to deal with. And the first pitch is a strike. So it'll be 24 out of 29 first pitch strikes for him. Retired 22 of the last 23 men he's faced. There's strike two. Pitch number 100 right there. So Shields a pitch away from a complete game shutout over this hard-hitting Texas Ranger ball club. 0-2. A little bit. Oh, it's on the outside corner. A called third strike. He went away to Andrus and picked up the corner to strike him out. And in this ball game, a two-hit shutout. James Shields takes care of business on the mound. A 6-0 victory. B.J. Upton took care of business at the plate with a 3-home run day. The Rays hit 4 home runs on the afternoon, pound out 13 hits. As James Shields 2 hits the Texas Rangers. He retired 23 of the last 24 men he faced. He had a stretch of 19 in a row during that stretch. And he threw 24 first pitch strikes to the first, and all 29 hitters he faced.